Welcome to the first of the two heats for the KZ2 class. These are 125cc water-cooled two-stroke engined carts. 6-speed, hand-operated, and produce about 42 horsepower. They are labelled as 6-speed shifter carts, and it's for drivers 15 years and up. We're here in Jesolo in Italy, just north of Venice. And this is promising to be a very good race. 20-lap race for this heat, and we have 16 runners in this. It's going to be hotly contested. And it's a standing start, unlike the rolling starts that we've seen thus far. And you can see kart 741, Max Leudl was on pole, but that looked like totally bogged down on the start. And we have a spinner there on the first corner. That is kart 741, I believe. It looked like he bogged down off the start, Max Leudl, and spun off into the gravel, presumably trying to make up those places. Not the start he was hoping for. But look, you can see the speed in these karts. These really are very, very rapid vehicles. And we've got at the front at the moment just trying to pick up the number, but he would have been quite pleased to have known that the second and third karts were battling amongst themselves, just enabling him to just pull away. I suspect that it's kart 733 Alexander Veit that has just made a bit of a break there, as he comes across to complete the first of the 20 laps. You see how obviously with the concertina effect they rapidly close up into that hairpin. It's where we do see the occasional attempt to dive up the inside. Fastest man on the track after that first lap was the second place kart 717 Nico Neumann. We'll be desperate to make sure that our leader Alexander Veit does not get away. Nico Neumann started 5th on the grid, so great start there. Probably I'd imagine we've got a few changes, because in third we've got Philip Moitzi, who started in third, so he's retained that position at the moment. But very different when we're starting at the standing start rather than the rolling start, as we saw that our pole position man did actually bog down there, unfortunately. That was Max Leudl. Fastest man on the second lap was actually the 9th position, 744, which is Matjas Dominko. Oh, and we've got 723 and 771 there, getting paying close attention to each other. Just quickly casting my eye down to see who that was. In fact, I think, sorry, I read the numbers wrong there. Just front 4 karts have made a bit of a breakaway. We've got a lonely 5th position at the moment for Marolt Urban, kart 737. But Alexander Veit currently in first. In second place is Nico Neumann. Third, Philip Moitzi. And in 4th position, trying to get on the back of this largely a 3-kart battle at the moment. But Christoph Reith in kart 724 he's managed to join up on the back of them. So this is rapidly becoming a 4-kart battle. Every now and again our leader Alexander Veit is just able to pull out sort of a 3, 4, 5 kart length gap, but very quickly our second place Nico Neumann is able to close back in again. You see the very rapid lap times here, that we're down in the 46s, so very impressive karts. I'd like to have a go in one of these. They look great fun, and obviously, as we say, they are 6-speed shifter karts. They're not able to be servo-operated gearboxes. So a bit more skill required on that side as well here, just if they wanted anything else to take our attention off. Max Leudl, kart 741, is currently 3 laps down on the leader, and that's after 4 laps. So I'm just trying to see whether he was able to even actually get going again. I've got a feeling he may be circulating, but I think he had to even get himself out of the gravel. And you see our leader's lead has diminished somewhat, and I think Nico Neumann was looking for a bit of a move heading into that first corner. Oh, getting very close there, thrown round the corner there by Alexander Veit, and unsurprising to see, fastest lap was posted there by Nico Neumann, the second place kart, which has seen him devour that lead that Alexander Veit was just starting to build up. If he needed to be reminded that he has to pay attention behind him as well, Nico has managed to do it on that lap. That's unbelievably 5 laps completed already on this 20-lap race, so they're quarter of the way through already. Just trying to see now as we flick between the leading karts there. We still have in first place Alexander Veit just about. Nico Neumann 717 in second. Philip Motzi in third. Christoph Reith in fourth. And Marolt Urban in fifth. The fact is, Marolt Urban just maybe starting to close up ever so slightly on this group. He's seeing these 4 all duelling and not holding each other up, but meaning that they can't focus on their own lines. They've got to focus on the karts behind as well. So he's hoping that he'll be able to close on in and become part of this tussle for the lead. And obviously the positions that they finish here determine the starting positions in Heat 2 as well, so it's a double whammy, which is going to be even more frustrating for Max Leudl, is that unless he's able to make up a lot of places, just looking, he's about so he's 6 laps down now. I'm wondering whether he's potentially not running at all now. So we're 7 laps in. No, he's got to be, because that was on the first lap that he had his incident. So he's obviously circulating, but all is not quite well for Max. He's probably just going to treat this as a test session now, as we're starting to encounter the back markers already, and the blue flag being waved by the marshals. Fastest lap of the race so far by Alexander Veit on that last lap, the 7th lap. As they come across to complete the 8th lap now, is he going to be able to go even faster, because he's going to want to break that toe, leave it to a 3-kart battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and allow him to focus. Well, actually at the moment it's 2nd and 3rd are dueling, and it was a fastest lap for Alexander Veit, 46.130. So he is just gradually edging. He's getting it towards a second gap back to Nico Neumann, but Nico Neumann's got the 3rd place kart there of is it Philip Moitzi that's in 3rd, I believe it is. Yep, kart 790. They are glued together, but Christoph Reith has just fallen off the back of those 2 at the moment. He put in a 47 on that last lap, as our leader slides around that last full bend onto the start-finish straight to complete yet another lap. That's 9 laps down. That wasn't the fastest lap that time, but it was still low 46. So repeatedly putting in low 46s every time he comes through. But we're going to have a little bit of a look there from Philip Moitzi. He's going to be disappointed that a kart start in a row behind him is ahead of him, so he's going to hope that he can make those qualifying times count to get back ahead, and that would be 2nd, obviously, with the unfortunate demise of Max Leudl at the beginning of this race. It'll be interesting to see if Max is able to battle through in Heat 2, because he would certainly be not allowing Alexander Veit to get away quite so cleanly as he has now. Notice there was a green flag waving there, so presumably there were some yellows. Yep, there's another yellow there, so it looks like we have somebody else that has spun out or pulled out. Oh, every time round that hairpin, he's looking again. So we've got the 3rd place. Philip Moitzi is desperately trying to get past Nico Neumann. Is he going to be able to make it move? We're halfway through this race now, and just looking down, Volontaire Ballas, I think, has retired, unfortunately. Yeah, kart 774, Volontaire Bolash. He is out of that race as well. The fastest lap last time was by Janaz Pneja. What did he put in there? He's put in a 46.097. So Janaz Pneja, who is running in 6th position at the moment, has on the previous lap posted the fastest lap of the race. So is he going to be able to make a move? He was only 0.3 behind Marolt Urban as they went across the line. So is Janaz able to move up into that 5th position? I'm sure he's going to be challenging. And unlike anybody's able to do at the moment, our leader Alexander Veit is currently pulling away. He's it's said that he was only a second ahead. I'm sure it's a bit more than that as they went across the line. We'll see it update in a second. And has he managed to put in a faster lap? 1.154. I guess it looks a bigger gap in terms of kart lengths, but these karts are so fast that of course they cover that distance even quicker. So he's over a second ahead at the moment. He's not having to look back. I'm sure every now and again as he's going through the hairpins he'll just be, at least with his eyes, glancing behind to see if Nico Neumann and Philipp Mozzi are able to close at all, but not at the moment. He's over a second ahead. That's 12 laps down, coming up to complete their 13th. And yeah, Max Lloydell must have stopped because he's 11 laps down now. So yeah, unfortunately, Max obviously pulled off, as has Volontaire Bolash. And I have a feeling that kart 777 Luka Vojnic-Putzar has pulled out as well. You see one of the karts off there, potentially one of the ones I've just mentioned, unfortunately. But there is our second, third and fourth battle still raging away. Still being led at the moment by Nico Neumann and Philipp Mozzi keeping him honest. And then a bit of a gap back to Christoph Reith, 724. There we go, kart 717, 790. Nico Neumann, Philipp Mozzi. As our leader comes through to complete his 14th lap. And what is the gap going to be this time round as they come across? 1.3. So he's just ever so slightly eking out about a tenth a lap at the moment. He's not needing to take any undue risk. He's just slightly stretching it out a little bit. Obviously, as we say, these karts are bringing out 42 horsepower, 2-stroke engines, water cooled. So as far as karts go, pretty good performance on these. Oh, and there's contact as our leader comes through to overtake a backmarker. The backmarker did hedge out wide to try and stay out of the way, but possibly not quite wide enough. But fortunately, no drama. Everybody was able to carry on, especially our leader. I dare say his heart was in his mouth there as he comes through to complete 3/4 race distance. That's 15 laps down. And he'll be hoping that he's maybe stretched his lead out, but after the contact with the back marker, I would imagine that's maybe dropped down a little bit. Yeah, down to 1.162. So ever so slight close up there by Nico Neumann, but he's not really able to have an answer at the moment for Alexander Veit. As they come through on their 16th lap. So basically 4.5 laps to go. The conditions seem largely okay here. We've had rain for quite a few of the other races, certainly in the morning of this race day, but fortunately the conditions have got better as the days progressed, and it looks like a largely dry track now as our leader comes through to complete yet another lap. Not feeling the need to, we've seen quite a lot of the drivers as they come down the start-finish straight to bury their heads down, kind of like bikers do behind the windscreen, if you will. But no need for our leader to do that. Alexander Veit, he's still over a second in the lead. I don't want to say comfortable because it doesn't take much, as we've seen in all the other races and regularly the case in karting. That 1 second lead can be devoured. There's just one scrub off of momentum as they go through. But the real battle seems to be between 4th, 5th and 6th. They are all like 0.2, 0.3 apart from each other. So those guys are really tussling for that 4th position, because obviously we've got Alexander Veit complete another lap, Nico Neumann in 2nd, Philipp Mozzi in 3rd, but Christoph Reith, Marol Urban and Janaz Pneja pretty much glued together battling for that 4th position. And as I say, don't forget, it's not just the points and positioning for this race, it also determines where they're going to start for the 2nd race. So it's all going to be very, very important. Just that one position can make all the difference. But it does look at the moment that maybe our podium's tied up. Although I wouldn't say it's tied up who's going to get 2nd and 3rd at the moment. You see, there's probably about one kart's length between them. But Philipp Mozzi is desperately trying to get ahead of Nico Neumann. Certainly not losing any ground as our leader comes through to complete his 18th lap. Goes on to his penultimate lap. Just the 2 left to go. Just comfortably. I don't think he's necessarily extending that lead by any great amount anymore. but he's also not losing any of it. It's about 1.5 seconds now, so it's always been that 1.1 to 1.5 seconds for about the last 10 laps or so, I would say. And he's still doing it. The times aren't electric anymore. They've settled down into a rhythm, not taking any undue risks. Excuse me. And there we go. Still the battle rages for second and third place. Nico Neumann still has it from Philip Moitzi at the moment. Third we saw there, Christoph Reith. Nice gap back to him for third places. Means he's comfortable as our leader goes on to his last lap. And there we see got 7. Sorry, I missed the number there. And our leader coming through. It's 1.6, so just stretched his lead a little bit more. And Philip Moitzi's just got one last lap. Can he make any move on Nico Neumann? Hopefully not a banzai move. Doesn't want to throw it all away. Doesn't want to get in trouble by stealing that position in an undue manner. But he still wants that second spot on the podium, doesn't he? He's not quite close enough as they're coming round the last bends now. And they'll turn right here. And then the last proper bend right with a slight left kink onto the start-finish straight. And there goes our leader. Punches the air. Dominated that race. Kart 733, Alexander Veit. Second was 717, Nico Neumann. Third was Philip Moitzi in kart 790. Fourth we had Christoph Reith. Fairly comfortable in the end. He had Marolt Urbin, who finished 5th, quite close to him, but ended up about 2nd ahead of him in the end there. And in 6th position, Janez Pneja, only half a second behind Marolt Urbin, so that was pretty close. And then it was Matches Domenico in 7th. Kart 713, Alexander Hauser, in 8th. Kart 789, Christoph Moser in 9th. 10th was 703, Naji Istvan Armin. In 11th was 795, Galaxy Sandor. And in 12th was 778, Tomislav Vojnic Purza. And I think, unfortunately, we also lost 766, Sebastian Leskoshik, because he ended up 8 laps down, so he obviously had a bit of a problem. It looks like Tomislav Vojnic had a bit of a problem because ended up 3 laps down as well. There's Heat 1 for the KZ2 Championship over here in Jesolo, Italy. All to play for in Heat 2.